Coming up on Mountain News at 6, we check in on tornado recovery efforts in Pulaski County 2 months later. And we have new details about a deadly crash on Kentucky 15.
And we're still tracking some scattered showers across the region.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Well, if you have not seen any rain today, there are plenty more chances through next week. We are keeping a close eye on the threat for flash flooding. First Alert meteorologist Megan Dusmal has the latest on this First Alert weather day. Megan.
Many folks out there did stay dry for the day, but we are still seeing a little bit of some rain falling right now. A storm just inside of Martin County, a little bit of some scattered showers as we travel towards Knox. Now, what you need to know is while a lot of the region stayed dry, as I just mentioned, these rain chances will continue for the next couple of days, giving some cities a lot of rainwater that will be falling in bits and pieces of the region. Now, as we take a look outside, you'll notice Hazard, Pikeville, and London were nice and dry. Temperatures are hovering in the 70s and 80s right now, depending on whether or not we saw any rainfall during the day, keeping us either warmer or cooler. Here's a look at the rest of the region. Again, mainly sitting those 70s and 80s. Off to a not too bad end to your afternoon going into those evening hours. But for the next 12 hours, we will see those temperatures continuing to dip. We'll have a warm start to your Thursday with temperatures in the low 70s. Steve.
Megan, thank you. It's been 2 months since a deadly tornado damaged many businesses, homes, and various buildings in southern Kentucky. In Pulaski County, some rebuilding is underway. For others, it will be a time-consuming and lengthy project. Officials say help is available, but more is needed. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has an update.
There are empty lots, bare foundations, and buildings that are simply a shell of what they used to be.
And we're still not there. We're still not rebuilt by any stretch of the imagination. But you can see that the community is bouncing back. I don't think we're ever going to look the same again.
60 days after the deadly tornado either destroyed or damaged homes, businesses, and office buildings, people can still take advantage of individual assistance.
Yep. There is a 1 year no interest, 1 year no payments. It's up to a 30-year loan term, so we can get your payments down to be extremely affordable.
County officials are concerned about public assistance that's not available, especially to pay to remove this massive debris pile at a cost of more than $1 million.
If we don't get that public assistance declaration from the federal government, I'm not entirely sure how we're going to deal with that.
The South Kentucky RECC, likely the largest facility in the county to be damaged or really destroyed by the tornado, and officials tell me that the process to rebuild will likely take up to 2 years. Within 2 months, officials say they have been overwhelmed with gratitude over the tremendous amount of help given them, and they expect that to continue.
You may have been spared in this one, the next time it may be you, and if you can help your neighbor, do it. Because a lot of times that assistance breaks down to neighbor helping neighbor, and there was a ton of that.
People have until next Wednesday, July 23rd, to apply for the individual assistance. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials say everyone impacted should either seek out help from FEMA or the Small Business Administration. More information is available on the WYMT News app or WYMT.com. Many in Laurel County are also still recovering from the May tornado. While many community members have taken steps to recover, there is still a long road ahead to rebuild. Alexa Minton talked with one first responder from Laurel County whose whole life was turned upside down that night to see what things look like for her now 2 months later.
Nobody ever thinks it'll happen to them. Nobody ever thinks it'll hit them.
PHI air medical teams in London, Kentucky are some of the many people who have felt the weight of the devastation from the May 16th deadly tornado, with their second hangar and base being destroyed. Katie Nelson, a flight nurse with PHI, shared that while the crew is fully operational, the 2 months since the event haven't always been easy.
Nothing about this has been smooth. It's been a lot of adjustment for both bases because now we have double the amount of people. We have 2 aircraft, and we're all functioning out of 1 base.
As a first responder, Nelson said the focus has always been on the community and supporting their service area as folks continue to recover. But for Nelson, the storm impacted more than just her workplace.
It's been a lot more difficult on the family side. My grandparents' house is totally gone. I mean, it totally leveled it. That whole road in their neighborhood, I mean, everything is gone.
Both sets of Nelson's grandparents, as well as her parents, live in the Sunshine Hills area, which was devastated in the storm.
We as kids, used to play at some of those houses, and now they're just completely gone. The first flight that I took coming back here, we flew the whole path of the tornado almost, and that was really difficult. Like, that was a lot more emotional than I anticipated it to be.
And as Nelson's family and workplace continue on to the next months in their road to recovery, she's hoping they can all build back at least a sense of normalcy.
I don't think it'll ever really be back to the way it was. I mean, it's hard to rebuild and totally recover from something like this. It'll be just what's normal for us eventually, just because you get used to it.
In Laurel County, meteorologist Alexa Minton, WKYT.
Now again, the deadline to apply for individual assistance from the May tornado is 1 week from today. Any individual or household is eligible to apply. You can visit this story on our website for more. Kentucky State Police have identified the trooper who was shot near Bluegrass Airport in Lexington Sunday. They say Trooper Jude Rimelin was shot during a traffic stop on Terminal Drive. He suffered serious injuries after he was shot by Guy House. The trooper was taken to the hospital and is still stable. Rimelin has been with KSP for 3 years and works with the Frankfurt Post. KSP is grateful for the outpouring of support for the trooper since Sunday. Yesterday, a crash in Jackson resulted in part of Kentucky 15 being shut down for a few hours. 1 person was killed and several injured. WYMT's Neely Green spoke to the Jackson police chief about the crash.
On Tuesday, Jackson City Police received a call about a crash. It was along Kentucky 15 between Walmart and Jiffy Mart.
Upon arrival, we noticed it was a 2-vehicle injury accident.
Jackson City Police Chief Brian Haddock says the crash was a head-on collision between the 2 vehicles.
The operator of Unit 1 crossed over into the oncoming path, causing a head-on collision.
Haddock says 35-year-old Tiffany Campbell of Jackson died. She was driving with 2 passengers when their car was hit head-on.
Upon further investigation, a Tiffany Campbell of Jackson was deceased due to injuries sustained in the accident.
Haddock added that the passengers and driver of the second vehicle were flown out with non-life-threatening injuries.
The other 3 with non-life-threatening injuries was flown out from Jackson Hospital.
Haddock says the case is still being investigated. In Jackson, Neely Green, WYMT Mountain News.
That crash happened in front of the Bobcat Tax Building. A woman was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in a 2022 Jackson County murder case. Karen Clemens pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including murder in connection with the death of 83-year-old Mary King Abrams. The incident started in July 2022 when police found Abrams dead inside a home in McKee. KSP later launched an investigation which resulted in the arrest of Clemens a couple of months later. A man in Whitley County was indicted for attempted murder. Ricky Anderson was also indicted on charges of wanton endangerment. The incident happened back in March when police say he reportedly fired a gun toward his son. According to an arrest citation, after he ran out of ammunition, Anderson went to grab another firearm and fired shots at his son again. Earlier this year, Kentucky Senate Bill 181 was signed into law. It says educators can only communicate with students through traceable online platforms designated by their district. But when emergencies happen and educators need to get in contact with students quickly, some tell us the bill does more harm than good. The issue has become a topic of conversation after reports of an active aggressor last Sunday impacting a basketball tournament in Louisville.
And a lot of the biggest problem right now is everyone says, oh, just use the approved app. Well, a lot of districts don't have the approved app in place yet. And even if they do, the students may not necessarily have that on their phone and have not had training on how to use it because we're not back in school.
Sloan says she believes legislators will be revisiting Senate Bill 181, but she does not know what changes they plan to make.
We're looking at more chances for storms as we're heading into the next weekend.
And a proposed solar energy project is in its developmental stages, but it would touch multiple counties in the mountains.